Hello everybody, I'm Scotty from Scotty's Clock World. Thanks for joining me back on my channel. Right, we're ready to start work on our bellows. Works alright once we blow through it. However, I did notice earlier on, before I took it to pieces, that the bellows weren't dropping very quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a 5-cent piece in there, which will help them to drop just a little bit faster. So I'll do that after we've put the Tyvek paper on, and the covers for the top of the bellows that I have got in stock aren't quite big enough. So what we'll do, I'll cut a piece of different coloured paper and put it over the top, and then on the post down here I'll put the same colour material on it so that they match. Alright, we'll put that aside, and we don't want the 5-cent piece for a moment. Right, now what we've got to do is find out how much Tyvek paper we need and in what size. So we'll start off by measuring the long side. It's 55, make a note of that. 55 mil. Going across the back, 30 mil. We'll jot that down on our piece of paper. Obviously 30 for the front and 55 for the side. What do you know? We're right. Alright, so that is 110 plus 60, which is 170. So the total length that we're looking at is 170, but that's a little bit extra because we're going to put a hinge of 30 mil on the back. So that's our hinge. We'll cut that first. And we've got some leftover paper from previous cuts here. So I'll measure that. Measure 30 on that. That's the same as it was last time. I'll cut that with my new super duper knife, making sure I don't cut through too many layers. Nope, still a little bit tight. Right, I'm going to cut into my new bench top, so I'll trim it off with a pair of scissors. And we're going to need a height of 12 millimeters. So we'll measure this, see what we got. So for two of them we want 24. We've got 22, and that'll be quite close enough. So we want 11 mil down there. Spin him round. Mark a line with our mechanical pencil and our rule down there. Cut that with a pair of scissors. Down our line. And that's our hinge that will go there on the bellows. Right. Put our measuring tools aside. Now what I'm going to do for a change this time, I normally use contact adhesive, but it's pretty hard to work with, and you're forever cleaning your tools so that they don't stick. So what I'm going to do this time, see if it works or how well it works, I'm going to use some Tarzan's Grip general purpose glue, which I'll spread some on here, and then I'll go over. I think we've got enough there. Yeah, that a little bit more down the bottom, I think. Tiny bit there, and down there, and across there. All right. Now, where's our hinge? Hinge we'll put on there. We'll use the other end to level out the hinge. The dry end of the Q-tip seems to have held down all right. Right, we'll leave that for 30 seconds and let that dry off. I'll throw the Q-tip out. We won't be able to use that again. So while we're waiting for that, we'll look and see. No, that material is going to end up being hinges. So we now need to go up to this piece here. We want 170 mil. Some of that we'll trim off because that'll double up on the back of the hinge. 150 and another 20. That's 170 mil there. Mark that position by ruling a line across there. Right, see how our hinge is going. It's drying all right. Now we need to measure how far the bellows open. So I'll grab this other one, measure and see how wide it is and how much extra we need. 40 mil. So we'll come down 40 mils on our piece of Tyvek paper, which is there. Mark it with a mechanical pencil. Come back over here again. 40 mil. Another one there. I'll mark one in the middle because this is only a bit more lead, I think. There we go. Now draw a line down there. And that doesn't come out very well on this, but we don't want to use a gel pen because it'll mark the bellows paper when it sinks into it. Right, I'll cut that with a pair of scissors down our 170 mil length. Now we've got another measurement here. There we go. So we'll cut that piece off there that is too long for us, and that'll become hinges on other clocks. Yep, it's looking right. Now we've got to find the midpoint of our Tyvek paper here, 170, which will be 85. Should be there. Double it over and just check it out. Make sure we're correct. Yep. Right. So that is the center of our material. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attach the front. So we have to, what do we say, 30 I think it was. Yep. We'll come in 15 mil either side. One there, and that will show us where the top of our bellows will go when we open it up to stick the paper on it. So that is where that's going to stick. Then we'll roll the sides up. Right, we'll give that another minute. Seems to be all right, but there's not a lot of it on there. It'd be nice to have a bit more support on, so we'll let that sit for a minute, and then we'll come back and put some more Tyvek paper on it. Test running a standard 2-inch movement that I've just made some repairs on. It's a pin pallet movement. You can't see the pins, but they're down in there anyway. It's a pin pallet movement, standard 2-inch movement. You can see the balance wheel working nice and smoothly. That's how they're supposed to look when they're working. All right, put that aside. Now we're ready for our next step, which is putting our bellows over like so, and then rolling the sides of the Tyvek paper over. All right, well, I'll start off. I'll put some glue on the front of the bellows there. Level it down, the Q-tip, and then put some on the other half here. Smooth it down, make it relatively equal all the way across on the end tip there. Right, now we saw before, that's the center point of our Tyvek paper. We've got to put the bellows between there and there, and there and there. So we'll hold them open, align them on the paper. Once we've got them aligned, press them down and hold them there for a minute. so that the glue takes. Lift it up, see what we've got. Yeah, that's looking all right. I'll just press those down a little bit. The top bellow is moved marginally, not very much, but just enough to... There we go. Right, we'll let those sit for a minute or so, let the glue dry before we start doing the sides of the bellows.